One of the remarkable books about the Jewish contribution to the course of humanity was written by an American-Irish historian writer, Thomas Cahill, in his book, The Gifts of the Jews. Cahill passed away last year, and he was very famous for many books. He has a series of books known as The Hinges of History, and part of this series is called The Gifts of the Jews. And in this book, he recalls so many remarkable contributions that the Jewish people have made to the destiny and course of human history. And first and foremost, he says, is the understanding, the very idea and concept of history. He said before the Jews, nobody looked back at the past and saw that it had any value, moral or spiritual value. After all, has not the past passed? Let bygones be bygones. What's the purpose of looking back at the past? Let it go. It's gone and it won't. Don't dwell in the past. Look forward. Says Cahill, the Jewish people have taught the world that the past has infinite value, both in terms of learning from the past and secondly in terms of our identity and our destiny. After all, as Santayana famously said, those who do not learn from history will be condemned to repeat it. Not looking back at the past means you don't look at your own actions, and if you don't learn from them, you'll be condemned to repeat it. It's got value in teaching you about how you behaved and how you should behave. But it's far deeper than that, explains Rabbi Benjamin Blech in his wonderful Haggadah. It's called Redemption Then and Now. I just bought it, and he develops these ideas beautifully in his essays. But of course, for the Jewish people, it's far deeper. Our past is part of our identity. How many times does the Torah say, Zachor, Zachor, remember? Not as somebody said, history, a nice little word on the word history. History is his story. Zachor is looking back at our own consciousness, looking within to our own experiences and remembering with infinite value. That is what the Pesach Seder is all about. That's what Judaism is about. But more than any other part of Judaism and Torah Judaism, the mitzvah of Magid, the mitzvah of the Haggadah, is looking back and relearning and reteaching what it means to be part of the Jewish story, that the past has so much to teach us about the future. And Yetziat Mitzrayim was not only a one-off event, it's a one-off event which informs our present and guides us to the future. And you know, on an individual level, we see what it means when we don't remember the past. Unfortunately, one of the scourges and challenges we have today is the ailments of Alzheimer's and dementia, and we see how destructive it is when a person cannot remember what happened in the past. It's almost without the past. They're an empty shell of who they are in the present, because really they're only who they are in the present and don't actually recall the past which formed their personality in the present. And after all, it's very difficult, as Rabbi Beryl Wine says. He said, if you don't look in the rearview mirror, very difficult to know where you're going if you're unable to look in the rearview mirror and see where you came from, because where you came from informs who you are and where you ought to be going. And may we all, as we come together with our families again in a couple of days' time for the Leila Seder, and recount not only Zeich L'Tziat Mitzrayim that we do on a daily basis, but re-look and re-ponder and re-examine what it means to be part of the Jewish story. May our glorious, glorious past and the story of this gift that the Jewish people have given to humanity, the gift of history, the gift of Zachor, the gift of remembering, the gift of studying and connecting with our past to inform us of who we are, because ultimately when we're informed about who we are and where we come from, we know better where we are heading. Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach.